New Group Chat Combos episode 46. We're back with another one. We got Tyler here with us. We got Eli here with us. Let's see what the group chat's been talking about this week. I'm gonna go ahead and start it right off, man. I gotta ask you guys, how y'all feel about Gunna?
Man, Gunna,
straight to the point.
Gunna he's back and forth. He's wishy-washy. I just got a pocket of music from Gunna. It's a few leaks, and I shared those with the boys, and they're heat,
bro.
I can't even lie about it. They're heat. Man, Gunna in the trial. I think he's a clown. I think he's goofy. I think he snitched though, you know, and it's kind of unfortunate that it's just he's canceled, but I still fuck with his music.
Bro,
I can hold you.
So today's the 20th. We were supposed to shoot this on the 19th. Things just fell through or whatever. But so yesterday, when I thought we were shooting, I was on the way home from work, and I knew we were going to be talking about Gunna. So I was like, before I go in on Gunna or take his side or anything, I just want to listen to his music. So I put on the song Take It to Trial. Him and Thug, and it was Yak's on there too, right? Yeah. Bro, that song is so hard, bro. Like, I love that song. That's in my gym rotation. And I put on that song, you know, Thug comes in and he's just snapping the hook, Take It to Trial, you know. But it's like it hits so much harder because, like, Thug is really sitting in the cell taking that shit to trial. Like, literally, he stood on all that shit he's saying. And then, you know, that last part, Gunna comes in. And then Gunna came in and he's flowing. He's doing his thing. And, bro, the last thing I was like, bro, halfway through his verse, I was like, man, I don't care. Gunna makes great music. I don't give a fuck. Bro, like, to close out his verse, he says something. He's like, and I could never snitch. Take it to trial. I was like, man.
I just,
like, motherfucker didn't stand on that shit at all.
At all,
At
nigga.
all, bro.
it's just kind of like, it's hard because we don't know the details.
Yeah, we don't know the whole story. There's always two sides to a story.
Yeah, so we don't know if he snitched. You start seeing like, you know, people unfollowing him, doing this and doing that. And I just think you can't really say anything. I mean, some of the details, it does look like he snitched, but at the same time, I mean, he hasn't said anything. I don't know if that's a marketing move. I don't know, you know, or if he did snitch and he just doesn't want to say anything. I'm not sure, but my only problem with it, especially with what you said, Eli, is like, okay, yeah, you listen to it for the music, but like, niggas don't listen to 6ix9ine no more.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, but be real, were niggas really listening to 6ix9ine, or was it just like he was just on social media?
Yeah.
The colors
and
caught
everything.
That's what I was thinking about too. It's like, bro, Gunna is so like, just like, Gunna really has some hits, bro. Like, he's not like 6ix9ine, like you said. Like, Gunna has had an album go #1 on Billboard. Excuse me. Gunna has had an album literally go #1 on Billboard. It's like he's not, and it's like, do you all think his career is over?
No.
I'm not gonna hold y'all. Feature just dropped by him. That shit went crazy. I can't even hold y'all.
I think Gunna's still gonna keep releasing music. By the way, he's based on the way he said, "Free YSL the label."
Time out. That was some cornball shit. That was corny as fuck. Like, how you go into the cell saying YSL the gang and come out and be like, YSL the label, YSL LLC. What? Like, bro, come on. No, hold on. I don't live that life at all. I'm not in that type of life at all, you know? So I don't know anything about that. But if for what Gunna's trying to portray, and you come out saying YSL the label as like a hip hop fan, and just and just from how his people that were supposed to be in his corner reacted to that seemed corny.
And I think that regardless of that cornball behavior, like we're both saying, he's still going to be under YSL, and he's still going to put out music. Unless
no, bro, Thug's not letting that shit happen, man.
If Thug's in jail, who's going to stop him?
It's true.
I know Thug owns YSL, but that doesn't mean that there's not record label people pushing YSL still.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, it's just like I said, I don't really know how. I'm not on either side, and I can't really take a side until I honestly at least
have you still
hear
been listening
something.
to Gunna?
I mean,
he didn't listen to Gunna to begin with.
I mean, I did listen to Gunna before. It's just, I mean, not really, but I don't know. My music tastes different. So, I mean, I listen to Gunna. I do like Gunna, but I have a few projects from him that I think are just like leagues above his other projects. I think that Wanna is probably his best project, and I think Drip Season 3 is really fire. But his other albums, Drip or Drown 2, has some good songs, but the rest yeah, okay, it has a lot. It has a lot of good songs, but like Drip Season 4, the replay value on that shit was terrible. Like I listened to that shit for a week or two, and that was about it. Yeah, that shit was.
But
mid.
Drip Season 4 was like, I think it was like a transition stage for Gunna.
Yeah, yeah.
To what?
To like Wanna, like that type of Gunna where he's more. I don't know.
No, I think that Drip Season 4 was the transition into him being like, okay, he's really in contender for album of the year with this album type shit. Like,
really?
Like, no, I'm not saying that album was contender for album of the year, but like
that's what he was shooting for.
Yeah, like that's what he was shooting for. That's you know,
he missed that.
Yeah, I can't. I love Gunna, but he made because like you said, bro, Wanna is his best album. That shit.
That's why I'm comparing it to Wanna because like that was his like peak.
Yeah,
Gunna and like that's. 4 is like the same thing to me. It's almost like Wanna, but it's not Wanna. You know?
Yeah, it's like Wanna, but it's just not.
Almost like you said, it's in comparison. It's in contender for the album of the year, but it kind of flopped on that end.
Yeah, like it definitely has the song "Push and P," which literally started a whole like movement. Literally for the culture. But it's like I look at one. What's that? 2020.
Yeah,
Wanna.
Yeah,
yeah. That's the album of the year for me. That year.
I mean,
because Lil Baby dropped 2, Uzi dropped, Future dropped, a couple other people.
Wanna wasn't better than Uzi.
Yes, it was.
Nah, Eternal Take was album of the year.
No, it wasn't. Wanna's
my fault.
Eternal Take was 2.
My fault. Whole Lot of Red was album of the year. Anyways, man, we're about to go ahead and transition here. I'm gonna go ahead and start with what I want to talk about because I've been seeing a lot of this shit recently. I kind of went into a little rabbit hole with, you know, the conspiracies and everything like that. I do like getting into it, but I don't try to go too deep because once you start going too deep, it's just like the fucking examples and like just, you know, it just gets to being too much, you know, but I've been seeing, so what made me start off with this is I saw Nelly on stage singing, right? And he was like, his eyes was rolling in the back of his head. Like he was doing some really weird shit. He was throwing up weird, you know, hand symbols and shit. And so, you know, first reaction was, oh, this nigga's on some type of drug, you know, some X,
for sure.
Molly, maybe perk, whatever it is, you know what I mean? He's on something. But then I start seeing the videos of like the Illuminati shit, you know? So I start seeing like, oh, it's a ritual or oh, you know, like his what do they call them? I'm not sure the exact word when it's like
initiation.
Not initiation, but you guys know how like an alter ego, you know what I mean? You know, like a lot of celebrities, especially musical artists, have alter egos,
or like an alias that they go by.
Yeah, alias. That's exactly what I was kind of looking for. So you know, that's kind of what I was seeing. But then I started seeing I started really looking into it, and so another thing that popped up as soon as I got done looking into the Nelly shit and what he was doing on stage was the movie House Party, right? That just came out, House Party 2.
That's the one with LeBron James.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, with LeBron, and I guess he's executive producer. Yeah. They throw the party at LeBron's house or whatever. So they have a whole segment, scene or whatever in the movie where they sneak into an Illuminati party, and they're in there. There's a bunch of celebrities, Mark Cuban, I'm not sure who else, and they're like talking about drinking blood and all this shit like that, right? So that's the second example. You know, that's the second thing that I've seen with that. And then I go and see from a few months ago about Doja Cat, how she had a party that was like a Freemason, like Illuminati party type shit, like, you know, and everybody was in there with mask on, and it was real, like a real heavy ritual vibe. So I got to the point where it just really made me think, you know, like, is this shit that these celebrities that's on these movies, these TV shows, these musical artists, is all this shit that they do, is it really just a coincidence? Or are they throwing it in our face because they know that people are just going to blow it off as like, oh, they're making fun of it? Or are they putting it in our face and it's the truth? and they know that they're just able to put it in our face
subliminally.
Yeah, because think about it. Like, you really have to think about, if you think about the Illuminati shit, right? So here's a good example. I know you guys seen NBA YoungBoy in the recent times with like his whole little rock star shit he has going on. He has the, so there was a picture of him where he had like black paint around his eyes, right?
Yeah.
You saw, I'm sure you guys saw that. If you go and look up, it's called panda eyes, right? That's what it's called. And if you go and look up, there's multiple pictures of celebrities who have just the black paint around their eyes, maybe the white face paint. Playboy Cardi is an example of someone who's done it recently. And so it's like, why do all these celebrities do that? So the panda eyes is considered a form of like the, like one of the ritual things they have to do. There's a lot of rituals that make people have to humiliate themselves, right?
Yeah.
Like whether it's something they have to do out in public. Doja Cat, an example, she had like a black eye. She had to shave her head and shit. Like, are these celebrities really doing that just because they're different, or are they doing that because of some higher being or some higher powerful people that are making them do that?
People will give up an amount of themselves to get whatever they want in life. That's how much it means to them. And pretty much by that, selling themselves to get to a certain point, whether that's their image, whether that's just whatever, their reputation, their what. I truly think there's people out here who will just risk it all just to have that that feeling of a song that gets a Billboard hit.
Yeah.
Or like, just whatever. I truly think people do that. I also do believe, though, some of that stuff is just trolling. I think some of it is, some may exaggerate it or whatnot. But yeah, bro, I'll keep it hot with you. Not to take it too. I'm not trying to ramble, but bro, I think everyone like in Hollywood, LA, that type shit, like industry plants type shit, like Doja Cat, Jack Harlow, all those guys. Not saying they're not talented whatsoever. They're very talented. You have to have a certain amount of talent to get to that certain amount of success. But I feel like all of them have sold a part of themselves. Whether 100%. We'll ever find out or 100%. Not, but they have definitely at least a part, whether that's materialistically, mentally, an amount of their peace, like
yeah. And something. I was gonna bring up, you remember whenever YG dressed up like a white woman?
Him and Tyga.
Yep. I was like, bro, they're selling their souls.
Yeah,
bro.
I was like, there's no way they would.
That's almost pulling the strings,
exactly, bro. It's like puppet behavior.
And what's crazy about it is there's so many examples, and there's so much like, it gets to the point where everything is not a fucking coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, you'll see a bunch of pictures of celebrities who will take a photo or whatever for either a magazine, a shoot, album cover, whatever, and they're covering one eye. Like, why do all of these people do the same thing in common? Why are all of them covering one eye in a picture? You know what I mean? Like, why do all these TV shows and movies have something about a ritual or a secret society, and it's like all very common? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I asked that question. Is it really just like, is there really a deeper meaning, or is it really just like they know it's what's going to get the people talking? That's the one thing that we really don't know, which is like, that's why I don't go too deep into the rabbit hole, because you start getting into some shit that just does make sense, but then it's just getting too crazy.
A little far-fetched sometimes, but it also makes truth, because bro, some things in the music industry, it just seems like, oh, like that's because like they have money, or like they have a million people, or like they have, but it's probably like the people who pay them, because again, artists in the industry are paid they're salaried employees.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's stopping, management from saying, hey, if you want to get a bonus this quarter, do something that gets 10 million views, or something that gets 2 million views.
Why do you think Tory just got locked up?
Yeah, bro. It's
Rock Nation.
You know what?
Too many things.
Come on now.
You know what? Speaking of Rock Nation, one of the things I found out when I was doing a little research was, that R. Kelly and Jay-Z recorded a music video on Epstein Island.
Who did?
Jay-Z and R. Kelly, nigga.
Nigga, that's crazy.
Fiesta, the song is Fiesta. It's with R. Kelly and Jay-Z. Shot a whole music video. You can go watch the music video on YouTube. Came out maybe 2005 or so. And
No, can you look up what year that came out? Fiesta. by
shot
Jay-Z and
it
R. Kelly.
on that island.
Wow. Do y'all know that the address of it was the address in SpongeBob? It is SpongeBob's driver's license.
What was it 123 Bikini Bottom Lane?
Yeah, that's the address of Epstein, like where the house was or something.
2000.
2000.
So I mean, think about that shit. Like all the shit that went on with him, and everybody goes and talks about like, oh, there's a whole list with all these people who traveled there and everything. It's like, I mean, damn. Imagine like Jay-Z and R. Kelly. You don't even know about that shit though.
Yeah. I'd be feeling like Jay-Z's like the biggest like.
And bro, what just popped in my head, not to, because it sort of got pivot to the next one, but bro, it's like, we're talking about all of these celebrities who have been like, just in the public for getting embarrassed or just something like that. Like you said, Doja Cat shaving her head, just something crazy. YG wearing that dress or whatever. But it's like, you've never seen Jay-Z in the media like that. But he's a top dog.
Bro, that's what I was about to literally say, bro.
It's like
Jay-Z's power and position, it's almost like he's at a table of bosses or like really, really high ups.
Powerful people.
And he's like one of the people who influence the black community.
The only thing I'll say,
I feel like very strongly about that. Like, he's been around since the 90s. Bro, Jay-Z's been around for over
94?
Bro, like 30 years, 40 years, damn near.
Yeah.
the only thing I'll say about Jay-Z is he has done a lot of blatant like
Oh, he definitely has.
ritualistic Satanism shit, like blatantly out in the open. I mean, shit, the Rock Nation symbol is literally a fucking
Literally.
triangle.
That's what I'm saying, nigga.
And then not to mention,
Well, it's not no coincidence, especially a
saying.
man that intelligent.
Bro, it's not that fucking coincidental.
and then think about
niggas just aren't
Beyonce.
on top of, like, niggas aren't on that level.
But do you think he looks at it like, I've got everything I've ever wanted.
Yes.
You can have my soul.
No. I think he looks at it like he wants to collect more souls, bro. He wants his family to be like the same level as Warren Buffett's family. Do you know what kind of power
Absolutely.
that takes?
Yeah.
Like that takes like turmoil. That takes strikes within your company. That takes people dying. That takes people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro, before you say what you have to say, bro, I really realized how much power Jay-Z had when I saw an article saying him and Jeff Bezos were looking into buying the Washington Commanders. Because, bro, to own an NFL football team, you have to be able to get into certain rooms that pretty much 99.5% Americans will never get into. Like, that's not just a room I'm talking about for a financial reason. I'm talking about like the type of power like that. It's a club. Those 32 NFL owners are a club.
Yeah.
Don't you have to get voted in?
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
gotta get voted in by the
Like,
other owners.
it's not like buying a fucking NBA team or something like an MLB team. Like, NFL is a completely different league.
That's crazy.
The Commanders are the sixth most valuable team in the NFL.
He was going for a high
Exactly.
ranking.
Bro, he's
NFL
powerful, bro.
You gotta have some dough for that shit, nigga.
The last thing that I want to say before we get into our next topic is, I mean, you also have to look at who he's fucking married to. He's married to one of the most successful, biggest singers.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of her career, will arguably be one of the biggest of all time. And then, the last thing I'll say, especially about, since talking about this shit that I've been talking about, like, she's had a lot of fucking evil, demonic shit about her. I mean, like I brought up the whole alter ego, like the Sasha Fierce, like there's people who claim that she does rituals on stage. She's transformed on stage. And if you even go and watch clips of her talk, like they talk about those alter egos as if they're literally a completely different person living inside of them. And they be like dead ass about it. Like she'll dead ass be like,
crazy,
Sasha
bro. Fierce
is a whole different person and I have no control over some shit. Like, that shit's not normal. You can't really make up a really liable reason on why somebody should feel so heartfelt about an alter ego they have inside. I don't give a fuck if it's for the money or not. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, bro, I'm not gonna. We're way off topic. I hope we can get some other topics in, but I have to say this. But it's like, they make up alter egos, and that might be for different reasons. But bro, like Kobe, Jordan, Tom Brady, bro, these motherfuckers go into a mode that's not themselves to get the job done in the season or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I've read the book Winners and Relentlessness by Tim S. Grover. He was a trainer for Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and has worked with numerous athletes around the world. And bro, he talks about transforming yourself, going into this mode of like that no one can get into. And bro, I've literally like at the gym, bro, I turn my phone off. It goes on do not disturb, and I get no notifications. Nothing can enter my inner peace while. Like, bro, I go into a different mode when I'm in the gym. And that's not even trying to like talk myself up, acting like I'm a big grinder or anything.
Nah,
like, bro,
I feel the same way. Why you think I have
is it like I'm sure you go into it? Yeah, different when you're working on clothing designs. Like, bro, there's just a certain mode you step into it, and it's like,
and you can't
turn it on,
and you can't turn it on,
and you unleash it.
In certain instances, you can't be like that all the time.
Exactly,
or else you'll attract different energies that you don't need for that type of instinct.
Exactly.